Hey witches, how you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Taya, and today we're back with another video, and I desperately want to share the Grunge Tarot deck with you today. This deck is a bit of a game changer for me. Now, it won't be for everybody, but here's the deal. It is based on the grunge era, which is the 90s. So for me, that was my late teens, early 20s. I was absolutely immersed in grunge culture, sort of through my formative years, right? I started grade 10, so I started high school in 1992, and that same year I had just gotten Nirvana's Nevermind album on cassette for, I believe it was my birthday or Christmas. My aunt had bought it for me off my wish list, and that just started my absolute love affair with grunge. And so I grew up steeped in, well, I didn't really grow up, but my formative years, right? High school and then my up into my early 20s were really formed by this grunge era. And so the imagery in this deck just screams to me. It's absolutely intense. So we're gonna go through it. I'll give you a quick walkthrough of like the card stock and the box and the book. And then we're gonna take a look at, mostly I wanna focus on the major arcana cards because they basically have call outs to songs and bands, and it's absolutely insane. And then we'll do a really quick, I'll just very quickly flip through the pip cards, the different suits. And then I want to finish up with a deck interview. So we're actually going to interview this deck and see what it has to say. So let's get into it. Grunge Tarot. It is edited by Francesca Mattioni, illustrations by Andrea Moresco. Beautiful box. On the cover right here, you can see this is Kurt Cobain. Right in the red, pinky hair dyed era. He always wore big red sunglasses. Absolutely iconic. As we flip through the box, it says the word grunge itself means dirty or scruffy. It refers to a genre of unfiltered rock music, which adapts perfectly to the esoteric symbolism of tarot cards. It really does. It says this deck is an adventure through the mysterious world of the major and minor arcana, arriving at the heart of grunge, the last great rock movement which emerged in Seattle in the 1990s and became a global cultural phenomenon. Oh, does it ever. It is published by Sterling Ethos of New York. I do believe there was actually an earlier version of this deck. I've seen a couple of deck reviews that, yeah, they have a different cover work. But anyways, comes in this amazing box. You can see on the bottom here, it's got like a little thing you just pull, which I really like. It's like a little drawer almost. And this box is super sturdy. Like it's really, really thick. So it's a good storage box. And the book, I love when the book fits inside the actual little storage system so you can store the cards in the book together. Cute little book, very fat. Full color. How often do you see that full color? So here we've got like the major arcana cards. And then when we get into, they're like a large page with your upright and reversed keywords and then a write-up about it. When we get into the pip cards, it's one per page. So a bit of a smaller picture, upright, reverse meanings, and then the walkthrough. Yeah, it's a great little book. We're going to use it when we go through some of the meanings later. But yeah, I love this deck. So yeah, anyways, cute little card, cute little book, card book, you know what I'm saying. So we'll set that off to the side. This is the back of the cards. I'll be honest, I don't know that I'm a huge fan, but it does feel kind of like that grunge era with the green and the teal and the eyeball. And so I can see there. Again, right, nice thick box. So we have these cards. We're going to go through the major arcana first. I'm going to spend a bit more time on that. I'm just going to flip through the pips real quick just so you can see them. But for the actual major arcana, I do want to have a quick chit chat about them. So this is the Fool card. It was inspired by Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. You can see the guy reaching out, right? Again, it's got very much that Fool imagery. He's stepping off the ledge. There is a balloon. And it looks like he's almost going to pop it. He's pointing his finger at it, but if he pops it, it'll drop his ladder. And it's almost like a little kid, a little dog, in the background, I don't know, but he's like holding a beer, so not sure about that. But that is The Fool. The Magician, quintessential Kurt Cobain. Love, 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 love this. And it says it was inspired by Come As You Are by Nirvana. And I think The Magician is very much a come as you are sort of card. The High Priestess, inspired by Violet by Hole, which you can kind of see a little bit of the pinky reddish hair. She's actually got 4 breasts. She's got double breasts, which is kind of interesting. I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge Hole follower. I wasn't overly informed on them. The High Priestess. No, the Empress. Oh my goodness, the Empress. This was inspired by Jane Says by Jane's Addiction. And here you can kind of see in the card, this kind of almost, when I first saw this card, I almost thought it was a guy in a skirt and fishnets, but I don't know, it could just be a more masculine looking girl holding onto the microphone there, and it's like radiating outwards, right? Radiating out her message. Oh, be still my heart. Chris Cornell and the Emperor. Right? Chris Cornell, lead singer of Soundgarden, perfect for the Emperor. The Hierophant. Totally Neil Young, rocking in the free world. We got some Neil Young in there. I love that. And the striped, the little striped toque or beanie on this guy down here, very grunge. And he's like holding up, the struts of a guitar, but it's missing the actual body of the guitar. And on his finger here, you can't really see it, but he's holding up his hand like this, and there's little crossed keys behind his fingers, or between his fingers. Maybe he's holding them up like this. The Lovers. This one here is inspired by Alice in Chains. Their song Died, which was written by Lane Staley in memory of his girlfriend, Demry. So this is actually Demry and Lane on the cover of the card. There's like the burning blimp in the background. The Lovers. The Chariot. We have got Eddie Vedder jumping off the front of a van. Now, the Chariot, this is sort of a callback to the bus from Into the Wild, because Eddie Vedder did a bunch of songs for the soundtrack of Into the Wild. And so this is that bus where the guy, you know, he was like, I just want to get away from, I want to be free. I want to get away. I want to go live in the wilds of Alaska. And he found a bus in Alaska that he lived in the wilds, a very famous bus. And here's Eddie Vedder jumping off the front of the Chariot. The Strength card, inspired by Polly from Nirvana. Polly Wants a Cracker. She's wearing like a ripped torn t-shirt, which is like very much grunge aesthetic. But if you know the song Polly, it is about trigger warning, friends. Skip forward if you have sexual assault history, but it's a song about rape. So her clothes are torn. I don't think in grunge fashion. I think it's more in that she has been SA'd. On her shoulder sits a little Polly bird, a little Polly Wants a Cracker. There's the crackers and they're scattered on the ground. And you can see she's crying. And I love that they actually have included some imagery here of people with color. The grunge era was a very white era. It was a very angry white era. But yeah, nice to see a little bit of inclusion of people of color. The Hermit. This is Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees. Very interesting. I wasn't really, I know of the Screaming Trees, but I wasn't really big into them. Wheel of Fortune. We've got Alice in Chains on the cover of Wheel of Fortune. And he's holding up, it looks like a little record, and it says, The Path. Sorry, I have really bad eyes and I'm old. The path of time we face. We face the path of time. And yeah, there they are, all on the merry-go-round, just like the wheel of fortune. We have Justice, a little dude here on a skateboard. You can see it says Jeremy on his cap, which is an absolute call out to the song Jeremy from Pearl Jam. Holding a heart and a feather, which totally gives me that idea of weighing what's in your heart against a feather, which is sort of that, I believe that's actually from Egypt, part of their death mysteries. But yeah, Like, I just love the imagery. It speaks to me here. The Hanged Man, which is inspired by Jesus Christ Pose, a song by Soundgarden. And you can see the dude hanging here upside down on the upside down cross. And there are windmills in the background. The Death card was inspired by Wake Up by Mad Season. I'm going to be honest, I am not familiar with Mad Season. That did not, that's a new grunge band to me. Never heard of them. Temperance was inspired by Pennyroyal Tea by Nirvana. And there's a call out to Leonard Cohen in the background with the poster. Very cute. And she's pouring from 2 jugs that are actually like people with open heads. And she's like pouring one into the other. The Devil, inspired by Raw Power by Iggy Pop and the Stooges. I don't want to say that's Iggy Pop himself. He's more of a blonde. This guy has like red hair, but he is kind of known for the like, the sinewy strength and always kind of not wearing a shirt. That's definitely an Iggy Pop thing. But I don't really get like that is supposed to be Iggy Pop. Oh, the Tower, Smashing Pumpkins. Hello, hello. Thank you for showing up to the show. The Smashing Pumpkins. It says this one was inspired by Bullet with Butterfly Wings. Their song, Bullet with Butterfly Wings. And again, yeah, big office tower in the back that's tipping over. You can see some debris from it here. And then the members of the band. The Stars, not the star, the Stars, plural, was inspired by Pearl Jam's Oceans, by Pearl Jam's Oceans. We have the Moon card, was inspired by River of Deceit by Mad Season. Again, I've got to look up Mad Season, but kind of interesting. You see there's kind of 2 more animalistic little figures in the back. Which you see very often on moon cards, that idea of being wild, being out in the night. The Sun, inspired by Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. And you can see the black hole of its mouth, right? And it's like, is it spitting out these little, I don't know, are they beans or whatever? Or is it sucking them in? I don't know. But it definitely still has a bit of a playful feel to it. But again, a little grungy, right? They're like in a cleared out pool, and you can see there's some like little algae looking scum down in the bottom. The Sun. Judgment. I love this card. Eddie Vedder, Chris Cornell, together they form Temple of the Dog, and this card is indeed a call out to their iconic song Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog. If you don't know Temple of the Dog, look it up, even if it's just for the song Hunger Strike. It's absolutely amazing. And our final major arcana is the World. And this is a really interesting card. It's actually, when I first pulled it, I was like, oh yeah, that's totally the baby from Nirvana's Nevermind cover. But then he's still attached to the mother. And I'm like, that's interesting. So, I looked it up in the book, and it says it was inspired by the song Preaching the End of the World by Chris Cornell, by Nirvana's Nevermind, the iconic cover art of the little baby swimming, and by a band named Afghan Wigs, the cover of their Congregation album has mother and son imagery. So there's actually 3 influences on this card, which is kind of interesting. The only one I really picked up on was the Nirvana Nevermind. Again, though, we have like, a woman of color and her baby. Just nice to see that included. It's a little bit more of an inclusive deck than maybe the grunge era itself was. So those are our major arcana cards. I'm going to go really quickly through the rest of the deck. Let's put those off to the side. So we have got 1 of Cups, 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Again, right? 3 tipped over, 2 still upright. 6 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Look at all the different cups with all the myriad possibilities in them. 8 of Cups. Again, right? Going on a journey, taking a walk, leaving some things behind that aren't serving them well. We have the 9 of Cups, right? Look at him sitting there, Mr. Grunge Rocker, with all of his, like, awards. They're like a little hand holding a microphone in the background. The 10 of Cups. Ooh, look at all those rainbows. I love it. Page of Cups. A little server girl. Knight of Cups. Totally rocking out there. Queen of Cups. Sitting on her, you know, her vintage repurposed chair that's all patched and all of her crap. Look, there's like some VHS tapes and some corded headphones stuck into a Walkman with a cassette tape there. Oh my goodness, I love it. The King of Cups. There's those speakers up in the top corner. Those are the speakers off of the back of the card. Well, very similar to the speakers on the back of the card. He's got his drum set in the back. Wands. 1 of Wands. I find the wands are a little hard to tell because every card has a different symbol for the wands. So this one has like a guitar. 2 of Wands. I see a baseball bat and oh, here's another baseball bat down here. That's broken. 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. Again, maybe 1, 2, 3 arms being held out in the like iconic, yeah, kind of pose. 4 of Wands. We have 1, 2 with the hockey sticks and 1, 2 with the bats, totaling to 4. 5 of Wands, right? That conflict. They're all in this. Look at this. There's like a piece of wood with a nail stuck through it. That's pretty violent. We have 6 of Wands, which I'm assuming is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 microphones, and 6 would be the little stick he's holding. 7 of Wands, that is that iconic cover art. That is totally Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Oh, it was the era of the Unplugged, MTV Unplugged sessions. That's totally what that brings to mind for me, right? All the candles and the guy sitting just acoustic guitar on the stage playing. 10 of Wands, very standard tarot imagery with the 10 wands and the head buried in it, but right, again, a bit more of a grunge take on it. The Page of Wands, writing "just like you" on the wall on his skateboard, of course. The Knight of Wands, again playing the guitar, as was the the Knight of Cups. Not quite so rocking out. He looks a little maybe more soulful. The Queen of Wands sitting on her bed with her cat. Although if you look at the cat if you look at them in the mirror image, it's a little different than what you see sitting here. She looks very serene sitting here petting her cat, whereas the cat in the picture has its teeth bared, and she's kind of looking down at it with almost like red eyes. She looks, oh, it is. Look at that. She has got a belt. Hello, trigger warning, my friends. She has got a belt around her arm indicating intravenous drug usage. So, right, what we're presenting, what we think we look like versus what we really look like. King of Wands, flying high on his chair, my friends. All right, we get into the swords. Big dude, sword tattoo right on his chest. 2 of Swords. This was on the side of the box, this image. 3 of Swords, super classic 3 of Swords imagery, the heart pierced by the 3. 4 of Swords. I'm not really sure where the 4 swords play. I can't find them in this picture, but that is the 4 of Swords. The 5 of Swords. Again, with the swords, I'm not always seeing something representing the swords in the pictures, but right, we've got here they are arguing and she is sitting down here like, and it's like they don't even realize the consequences of their argument. The guitar has been broken and she's kind of got her arm up like she's patting the guy going, hey, like pay attention, look what's happening. 6 of Swords, right? Here he is on the motorcycle with, you got the 6 actual, like, looks like swords sticking out the back. But it's not him alone. He's got a couple other people with him, right? The 7 of Swords, been throwing it at the board here. Some of them have gone right in the center, 3 of them, and some of them are really off target. He's actually holding the 7th knife in his hand. The 8 of Swords, we see her here in front of 8 microphones, but she's like holding her neck, like, I can't speak. The 9 of Swords, and we see broken bottles all around her. And it looks almost like broken pieces of a bicycle, maybe? The 10 of Swords, dude is, I don't know if he's supposed to be tattooed or cut up. He's got little, like, looks like lacerations all over him, but those might be meant to be tattoos. I'm not sure. Sitting on a pile of rubble. The Page of Swords, here she is looking like, she looks very much like the newbie grunge rocker, right? Like she's wearing the right outfit, the layers, the skirt with the tights, the high boots with the knee socks, the layered t-shirt, but it's very pristine and clean. Like it's not all torn up and grungy yet, right? We've got the Knight of Swords. So the last 2 knights were holding guitars. This one is singing. Got the Queen of Swords here. She is definitely cut up. She's got some ripped up, oh my gosh, I used to wear that. The ripped up nylons, the ripped up fishnet stockings. But then it's got little sparkles on her cap, almost like it's new, like a new hat. But she's crying. Not sure why. The King of Swords on his very interesting looking throne. It looks like it's almost like cables that are bound together, but then the cables have little thorns poking out of them. But into the Pentacles. So a Grunge Tarot record. The Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. Again, you see this like split on the 2, right? He's got the grunge rocker on this side, but if you look at him on this side, he's wearing like work overalls and carrying a tray that's got, it looks like coffees and plants on it. So again, that like identity flip. The 2 of Pentacles is about trying to balance, right? So he's trying to balance these 2 identities. The 3 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, typically shown with a church in the background. This is a record store, or not a record store, sorry, it's an electronics store. See, there's like TVs, a VCR, and it looks like almost like a computer up here in the corner. But the door is open, come on in. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles, she looks like she might be pregnant, but not overly, right? Like kind of early, maybe in her, just the beginning of her 2nd trimester there. And little, these are almost like pentacles, but they almost look like little mandala flowers in her hair. The 8 of Pentacles, practice, practice, practice. The 9 of Pentacles, she's doing the work. It's starting to pay off. She's got all these like what might be gold records in the background. She's singing like a bird. And 10, it's like it's all come to fruition. We've got the, I think this was used in a lot of like Nirvana imagery, that kind of cross-eyed happy face sun. But they've got like their, it says W-I, I think it meant to say win, but I originally read it as we. But I don't think the we came out till the early 2000s. But it's got like the 10 pentacles on the screen there. So it's like they've won, but almost at what cost? I don't know. Page of Pentacles. Here he is, right? He's like a kid with all of his toys, but there's like almost this vortex behind him. Almost an idea of being sucked out of childhood. I don't know. The Knight of Pentacles. He's got his 2, right? Like, woohoo! It's like we're about to begin drumming. Here we go. So we've got a drummer, a singer, and 2 guitars. So we've almost got a band if you put the knights together. The Queen of Pentacles. She is sitting on her throne, and she is holding like a marionette of herself, but she herself actually has strings. So she herself is a marionette. And finally, the King of Pentacles sitting on his, I love it, heart-shaped box. Total throwback to Nirvana's heart-shaped box song. So really interesting. I find what my interpretations on these cards are, I don't know that they really kind of necessarily jive with what's in the book itself. I'd have to go through the meanings, but I'm definitely getting a lot of imagery off of these cards, right? Like, I feel like I can read a lot of them. I kind of just sort of have a knowledge of what it is that it's trying to tell me, but it's not necessarily corresponding to what classic tarot interpretations, right? Because this is based on a Rider-Waite-Smith type of deck. So I'm not sure. We'll look up. We're going to do a reading right now. I'm just shuffling up the cards. First time shuffling this card. So these cards are a really nice, thick cardstock. They are quite large. I have like really long fingers, so I can still reach them. But I've actually seen a couple of reviews where people are like, they're too big. I really like this size of card. They're nice, thick cardstock, but they're not so thick that you can't shuffle them, right? Like the cards will have a little bit of give to them, but they are they're glossy, which I'm sure you've noticed with the glare of the light. So we are going to do, it's a 6-card spread. Let me find my spread here. It's a 6-card spread. I am going to see if I can zoom out a little bit. Woo! Now you see all my messy desk. That's fun. Oh, that's too much. Don't like that. All right, we will just keep it right here, and we're gonna pull 6 cards. So we'll do them 1 card at a time. The first card is our relationship together as a whole. So my relationship with this deck, how's it gonna go? And I'm a big like intuitive puller. Oh, it's the top card. Okay. 4 of Wands is my first card that I've pulled. So our relationship together as a whole, 4 of Wands, which typically the 4 of Wands is about, oh, I gotta go back to my cheat sheet, friends. 4 of Wands is harmony, home, and marriage. So you see 2 girls here, right? It's almost like they're making house together. One's giving the other one a bouquet of flowers. They got some hockey sticks and bats and some big speakers in the background. It's almost like, you know, after a party, yeah, there's a glass here with a cigarette butt in it. So it's almost like after a party, she's like, hey, sorry, things got a little crazy. Here's, you know, making harmony. Right, let's look up. What is the 4 of Wands? There's the 5 of Wands. 4 of Wands, 2 girls depicted on the 4 of Wands could either be toasting to success of something they really cared about, like that party, or simply getting together to celebrate. The bouquet of flowers represents celebrating the moment, whether it is achieving a first important goal, an anniversary, or an occasion to be shared with family, friends, or community. Stability is represented differently in all of the 4s of the deck. The 4 of Wands speaks of a happy homecoming, of success, of relaxing, even without a reason. It can indicate a vacation, a planned meeting, or an event with our loved ones, or the long-awaited success of a project. So in the sense of how will we be together, our relationship together as a whole, to me this speaks of harmony, of building something together, celebrating together. It's going to be successful. So yeah, it's going to be a good deck for me to work with. All right, that's the first one. Card number 2, how will we work together? So we're going to give it one more shuffle, just one, and then we'll intuitively pick a card for how will we work. Whew, that was a messy shuffle. How will we work together? Oh, I can feel it right there. Oh, the devil. How will we work together? The devil is about, right? It's sort of about that idea of like addictions, of needing, of oh geez, every time I pick up a card, I screw up my background. Of needing, of, right? You see them in the background, they're chained. There's tires burning. It's kind of, when you set tires on fire, it's really, like, it's almost impossible to put that fire out. So how will we work together? I'm sensing that this is going to be a very like needy sort of partnership. We are going to, oh yeah, we are going to have some desperate times together. The devil leads us astray, taking us into the world of punk, where everything is desecrated, where traditional teachings are rendered inconsistent by the thirst for personal freedom. As in, oh my gosh, did I not just say, when I'm reading from this deck, I am getting different interpretations than the usual sort of tarot, the tarot readings, right? Like my interpretation of the card isn't necessarily what's in line with classic tarot. Everything is desecrated, where traditional teachings are rendered inconsistent by the thirst for personal freedom. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm not even going to read the rest. That is absolutely how I'm taking that card. It is going to be about creating something very, tearing down those traditional meanings, right? An important aspect of the deck's personality. All right, deck, what is an important aspect of your personality? Oh, right there. Important aspect of their personality. 10 of Pentacles, which is typically about material goods. Somebody put to me the other day, things you can touch. And it's that idea of completion, of success. So this is an important aspect of the deck's personality. 10 of Pentacles. So it says a family is sitting on the sofa in the living room of their house, in front of the television. They have everything they need for a comfortable life, but the sneering sun outside the window attracts their attention and they're slightly disturbed by it. The 10 of Pentacles symbolizes the culmination of the things we pursue, at least according to widespread social models, i.e., careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Economic stability, affection, possessions. It is a positive card where materiality and feelings come together. Yet its perfection also conveys some discomfort. There is, in fact, the risk of withdrawing into one's own small world. An important aspect of the deck's personality. It might be leading me a little bit astray, right? Again, with those, I know I'm getting different readings off of it than maybe the traditional tarot readings. So again, right? If it seems too perfect, look outside. Oh yeah, that's an important aspect of its personality, right? It might be sunny and perfect, but it might be leading you a little bit astray. All right. 4, something that you require from me, something that the deck requires from me. All right, deck, what do you require from me? Ooh, 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. I am drawing a blank right now on the 6 of Pentacles. So let's look it up. I'm sure you're all screaming at your screen right now going, it's so obvious. What does the deck need from me? One of the karmic lessons is that we get what we give. Oi, we get what we give. Yet at times it appears that we give much more than we actually receive. So as in the deck is giving more than maybe it's receiving. Oh my goodness. So generosity, material support, and gratitude. So what does it need from me? It needs material support. It needs to be, I think it needs to be used. It needs to be well cared for. It needs to be respected. Definitely. All right. 5th card. 5th card is something I can expect of you. Something that I, as the reader, can expect from the deck. Whew. This has been a very interesting and very different review from what I've gotten before on deck reviews. All right, what can I expect of you? Justice, the Jeremy card, which I am going to actually read as fairness. Justice, I read that as fairness. Like literally justice, literally fairness. Let's look up the Jeremy card. What is right in the world? Destiny, nature, human laws? Everything contains a flaw, a betrayal, an abuse, something that is forgotten. Justice is the hardest of the major arcana cards. It refuses to give us an answer. On the contrary, it invites us to find a question inside of us so that while we are absorbed by the great illusions of society, we don't neglect the fact that every living being is easily moved and anxious to know the truth. So it's about truth, atonement, retribution, law. I said justice, fairness, truth, right? Something that I can expect of the deck. Truth, fairness. Yep, I think that suits. And the final card, I can't even get them all to fit on here. So let's just move these over. And then the final card is a message you, the deck, would like to give me, the reader. A message you would like to give me. Whoop. All right. A message you would like to give me. No, that wasn't it. Sorry. I intuitively pulled cards and I went for the feel and it didn't split in the right spot. Oh, it's doing it again. Okay. Ooh, 9 of Wands. We've got the acoustic player in the MTV era. The 9 of Wands. Wands are passion. I know that much. Again, I want to read what this deck has to say. 9 of Wands represents a melody of great aspirations, talent, and perseverance, and the protagonist doesn't give up in the face of the final challenge. So I think that's the message, is don't give up. I think that works. For some reason, it was impossible for the musician to play when and where he was meant to, and now there's no audience. But the musician doesn't fail to keep his commitment. Ooh, don't fail to keep your commitments, my friends. So yeah, interesting deck reading for me. Final card, my message is don't forget. You know, you don't always maybe have an audience, but stick with it, persevere. So this has been my review of the Grunge Tarot deck, edited by Francesca Mattioni, illustrations by Andrea Moresco, published by Sterling Ethos. I just have to say, I adore this deck. I am very much looking forward to using it. It is fascinating and it speaks to me on so many levels. If you have this deck, I would love to know what you think of it. I really think, though, that it is very much keyed towards people who were living and participating in the grunge era. So people kind of in their late 30s, but mostly like kind of that early to mid 40s. Those of us who kind of are those formative years when you were like high school, early 20s, when you were out like living the good life, just putting, you know, who am I? You know, I always say I came of age in the grunge era, and this deck speaks to me. So yeah, I'm curious what your thoughts on this deck are, where your interest lies, and yeah, leave us a comment. And otherwise, that's our video for today. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks so much, you guys.